Hello and welcome to Coffee and Conversation, the podcast where
nothing is off table.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Sika.
Today's topic is going to be Would You Rather? Weird scenarios that neither of us have ever thought about. So I think it's going to be interesting to discuss Would You Rathers. And also, as always, we're very interested to know your version of Would You Rather. So if you have any questions as well for future podcasts that you would like to hear us talk about,
let us know.
Yeah, we're definitely open. Today's coffee for me is from Mystique, and I think it's called Tilly. Not sponsored. Sika, what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking matcha.
Ooh.
Creamy matcha.
Creamy matcha. Did you have any actual cream in there, or it's the powder that's already creamy? Yeah. I know you love green tea things. Yeah, she's nodding her head with
it's delicious.
Yes. Okay. So our first question, we're going to start easy, and then we're going to get into more challenging questions.
What do you mean by challenging? Like weird?
Weird, awkward, and just uncomfortable situations.
Gotcha.
Like one of them is really awkward, and I didn't even want to think about it, so I think it's going to be fun discussing them.
All right.
It involves cousins.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, let's start with the easy one first. Would you rather have telepathy or telekinesis? So in case anyone is not sure what telepathy or telekinesis are, so telepathy is the ability to be able to talk to other people through mind waves. So speaking through the brain, I guess, is the easiest way to say. So you're just communicating without talking. Or telekinesis, I hope I'm not messing this up, but it's the ability to move things with your mind. So one is the ability to communicate with no words, or to move things with no movement with your hands, kind of thing.
Does telepathy include basically just hearing people and not necessarily talking to them? Like you can hear what they're thinking, but you don't talk?
I think that would be knowing what people... No, I think communication. Like actual communication. So you'd be able to communicate with someone. So if I were sitting here and saying, Sika, can you bring me coffee? And you can say no in your own brain. So you can someone can reply back to you mentally.
Okay.
I think I would probably prefer telekinesis.
I think I'd prefer telepathy.
Okay, why though?
Because I don't like talking in general. I don't like expressing myself out loud generally. So just being quiet about it and still getting things done, I think that's kind of cool.
That's true.
But if it were kind of just knowing how people think too, because you're not sure about the definition, but if it is like knowing what people are thinking as well, that's kind of nice too, because I'm such an anxious person. I'm always wondering what people are thinking about me, so that at least I could have like peace of mind and know what's actually going through their mind. But yeah, I think that would be it.
I think for me it would be telekinesis, and it probably has to do, I think we're choosing depending on how our circumstances.
Yeah.
And for me, it's because I have so many physical limitations with what I can do sometimes. So if I can, let's say, grab something and have it move towards me without having to use my back and hurt myself.
Oh, hey, I just need some water.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you just reach out and it comes to you.
It's almost like being a magician.
Yeah.
And I've always dreamt, like when I was little, I know that for me, Sailor Moon was a big thing. I wanted to be a magical girl and have all these powers. So telekinesis is magic, right?
They're both magic, technically.
Yeah, but one is more physical. Like Wingardium Leviosa. You can make things float. Right?
Yeah. It's two kinds of different magics, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to hear what people are thinking.
I want to know what people are thinking.
I don't think so, because I really just don't want to care about what people are thinking, because you can't please everyone. And I try not to be a people pleaser.
That's true, you can't please everyone, but at least it'll give you peace of mind. Like, if you know what they're saying, and then you can just kind of go like, oh, okay, well, f*** you then, and then you stop caring. Or you're like, okay, we're on the right path, so it's fine.
Oh.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, so like weeding out.
Exactly. It gives you that path, whether you want to continue trying to be, close to them, or if they're being, like, two-faced, then you can go like, well, you know what? I don't like you anymore either. Just, you could have said it to me instead of,
That's true.
But
that would have...
if that's what telepathy is, because we're not even sure anymore.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that telepathy has to do with communicating through the mind.
Now I want to Google it.
Okay, go ahead and Google it. In the meantime, I'm going to say that if that is the case, getting to know someone's true intentions, that would have saved me a lot of heartache, because there was this one person that I met, and I was like, oh, this person is my friend. We started hanging out a lot together, and like this person just seemed super sweet. Whenever I was, hurting, she would come over. I really felt like this person and I connected because she was there for me, I was there for her, and out of the blue, when one thing happened, her true colors came out. And she was, I don't want to say too much detail into this.
I think I know who you're talking about.
But if you, as a listener, want to hear about terrible friendships and fake friendships that we've had, that would be an interesting topic, because this person, at the end of the day, was using me to grow their YouTube channel.
Oh, no.
So they were really acting so nice just so that I can share, quote unquote, the clout. I didn't know what the word clout was until then. But yeah, she was a clout chaser. And when our friendship was kind of rocky, she's like, you know what? I was like, what's going to help me grow my channel? And I was like, you know what? God is going to help me grow my channel. I was like, okay. So it wasn't even about the friendship. It was
just about her channel.
Yeah, and how that person can grow despite the fact that I'm not their friend anymore. And I was like, whoa, that is crazy. And then they had the audacity to call me a toxic person.
I remember that, yeah.
And that hurt.
I wonder how her channel's doing.
I don't know, but like that hurt. Like I'm golden retriever energy.
Yeah.
When it comes to friends,
you're very people pleasing too.
Well, when I have a friend, right? When I have a
You'll
friend,
do anything you can to be
everything.
Yeah.
I will give you the shirt off my back, even if it means I'm going to be, without a shirt. But this person, and especially I'm a very closed person.
Yeah. So to let her in is a big deal for you.
Yeah, it was a really big deal. So I don't make friends very easily because I get hurt quite quickly.
This is why we only have each other.
I know, right? It's like, I know. And even if we do hurt each other, because we do argue.
Yeah, but it's different. It's not the same thing. We're not backstabbing each other.
No.
We just, get upset with each other.
And then we'll get over it kind of
Exactly.
thing. But then when I tried to patch things up with this person, it was just, it just felt off. Like, I didn't feel like did you find the definition, by the way?
It says thought reading.
Thought reading. I thought it was more communication.
There's communication, but it also says thought reading.
Okay, so there you go. You have both.
Exactly.
I don't think
I think that's the best of both worlds for me.
That's true. Oh my god, that water really went down after that coffee. Okay, so you would stick with that?
Yep, I would stick with that, definitely. Especially now that I know it's both.
I think I would stick with telekinesis simply of the fact
because of your back.
And magic. Like, imagine having a little piece of magic.
I think reading thoughts and talking with someone is still magic, just like without even saying anything. It's just two different kinds of magic.
Now, if telepathy extended to animals as well, then I don't think I would argue the fact that I would want telepathy.
Yeah, because then you can know what
you
your
can talk to your babies.
Thinking.
I know. And imagine
awesome.
I could finally tell Angel to quiet for like 10 minutes.
Can you be quiet and then after we'll hang out? He's like, okay.
Yeah, and if you don't know, Angel's my parrot who loves to scream, especially in on my video game channel. He was screaming for an entire hour and a half, and it's so hard to get them to stop sometimes. Okay, so let's go with the next one. This one's a little bit more challenging.
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, you gotta crack your knuckles. You're gonna get ready. You got this?
We got this.
So, if you reincarnated, would you want to be 100 years in the past or 100 years in the future?
100 years in the future.
Why would that be?
Because things are going to advance in the future. In the past, we kind of know what's happened in the past. Well, we obviously know what's happened in the past, right? So I don't think I want to live in an area. It actually depends. Am I the same person?
Yes.
Then no, I don't want to go in the past. I would die so fast.
Oh, no.
Especially with chronic illnesses. Like,
true.
Having Crohn's disease 100 years ago, I would have died at like
And not just that, but can you imagine having to go through a second Pandalorian? Because 100 years ago was the other Pandalorian.
Yes, but it almost happens every 100 years.
Yeah.
So we'd still get another one in the future.
Dang nabbit. That's
You didn't go far enough into your thought.
I'm hoping 100 years in the future.
We can slow it down or...
Yeah, or be some sort of medically bioengineered humans. I would
You
probably...
want to be a cyborg.
I want to be a cyborg so badly. I would love to be part machine.
If you can remove some of your aches, just need to, just put some oil in your joints and you're good.
That's it. Like, if you can take my consciousness and put it into a robotic body, I will 100% take it. You wouldn't?
Not my whole body.
What would you
I
like?
still want to be human.
Yeah, but
no, like let's say I get into an accident and I lose my arm, then yeah, I wouldn't mind having a cyborg arm to help me, but not my whole body.
I really wouldn't mind. And especially I read this book called The Singularity is Near.
Okay.
And it's talking about how within the next couple of decades, we will be achieving immortality.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That would be really cool.
I don't know if this is something recent or not. Like I don't know if there's more information about it, but there was like something saying that they made like little itty bitty robots that could be injected into the body.
Yeah, nanorobots.
Yeah, exactly. And they can like heal you from the inside too. So of course, like if in 100 years we have these little guys in our system and you get hurt, they're constantly going to be fixing you, right? So you don't really have a chance to get like old and rusty or you know what I mean. So like, yeah, I see us being able to live for quite some time with those little guys helping us.
That's like a huge hope for me. I'm trying to stay as unbroken. I would live forever if I had the opportunity.
I don't think I would. I'd get bored.
Bored? There's so many things to do.
Yeah, but eventually you're gonna get bored of like
maybe 1,000 years later.
Yeah.
But then it would be different world, right?
Yeah.
But that's,
I don't know. I don't believe in humans being kind enough to want to live that long.
Yeah, for me, I believe in human kindness. Our
world is so corrupt.
Yeah, but I think those are the leaders, in my opinion. People who seek power are usually the wrong people who are in power, whereas human kindness, generally speaking, is more abundant than the leaders, in my opinion. That's a whole other discussion.
Humans are evil.
I don't know. You poor Sika. Sika's so broken from the humans. What did you do? Don't hurt her. I will come after you. Yeah, I think we both agree.
For what?
100 years into the future is more interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't
think so.
I don't
because
see
going
a reason.
In the past, and we already know what's happened in the past, and it's not very pretty.
Yeah. The only way I would want to go in the past would be...
dinosaurs?
Yeah.
That's not 100 years.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's the only way I would want to go back.
Yeah, because you've been always fascinated by it.
Yeah. But obviously I would probably get eaten so quickly.
Especially if you're exactly you, your back's gonna give out before you can run.
You see me trying to run after, like a T-Rex is running after me. I'll be like, just eat me, get it over with. And then hope to reincarnate 100 years into the actual future from then.
But yeah, I think going frontwards is better because we don't know what's in the front, but we know what's in the back, right? And the back isn't very good for us.
No, not for people with chronic illnesses. No. We'd be absolutely destroyed.
Oh yeah, no.
But I really hope that the whole immortality and singularity thing is actually
a thing.
Like I think that's one of the things that gets me excited, especially also I teach a class on science fiction.
Yeah. And
we've talked about androids and robots, and in the US they are working on implementing consciousness into robots. A body. So where you would sleep and have that consciousness move into a different body. It reminds me again of the movie Avatar.
Yes.
Where,
I remember that.
Yeah, so it's something like that. We both agree on this one, though.
I think so, yeah.
All right, so the next one is... I think this one's going to be a little challenging, especially because we're both introverts.
Okay.
But at the same time, I know...
You're more extroverted than I am.
I'm not more extrovert. I'm just more skilled at talking to people.
Yeah, I stay away from people.
Well, I'm a teacher, so I do talk to people and students, so I want to make sure that I communicate.
I like to be as, like, secretive as possible. I don't hang out with people, and people are like, let's hang out. I'm like, that's a lot of hard work.
But hang on, this one's the extreme of would you rather. So would you rather be completely alone for 5 years or constantly be surrounded by people and never alone for 5 years? So either
how many people?
I don't know. It doesn't say. But let's say 5 years completely isolated, or 5 years, let's say, with 5 people. Let's do it that way.
Depends on the 5 people for me.
But you don't have a choice. Let's say
depends on the 5 people, and then it's being alone. Am I going to have animals? Because animals aren't people.
They are people to us, though.
Yeah, but they're not people.
But now we're being hypothetical here.
Yeah, but exactly, it is a hypothetical question.
Let's take it to face value. Alone, like alone, in a cave. Maybe there's bugs. Or 5 random people that you get to know throughout the course of 5 years. I think for me, I would probably rather be alone.
Yeah, me too.
I know, like, I'm
Chances
thinking.
are, okay, but like if I'm with these 5 people, chances are I'll get savage if one of them pisses me off. So there's not gonna be 5 people left.
Oh no! But it's almost like, you know, in the that show, The Bachelor or Big Brother,
Oh,
where you're
don't
kind of
watch that.
stuck into the house together, and you have to stay with each other.
Doesn't mean I have to be civilized.
No, it obviously does not. So, would you take the 5 people or alone?
If I'm not gonna be civilized, I guess I'll start with the 5 and see who.
Yeah, you would stay with the 5. I feel like if I had a choice, obviously I would choose siblings to be with.
Of course.
But if I didn't have a choice, I would probably rather
alone.
be alone.
Yeah.
Because I've done satellite camping, which is
It's
alone.
peaceful.
I've done days when Pat was on business trips where I just don't talk to anyone. Not one bit.
Yeah.
So I'm used to not talking, and especially I think I keep myself very entertained.
That's what happens when you have ADHD. Like,
I
you're just
know.
so entertained by everything. Like, ooh, look, a
Yeah.
dust bunny.
And especially I'll be like, oh, okay, it's only been an hour, when in fact it's been like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Time for me just passes.
I think that's what it is for me too. I think honestly, if I could pick the people, then yeah, I'd go for that. If I can't pick the people, I think it would be just me alone, because I'd rather be alone and not have to deal with anyone's bullshit
Yeah.
than be with 5 people that I hate.
It's a tough question because at the same time I do enjoy getting to know people,
I don't.
but to never
I'm very
be
bitter.
alone. Oh no. You know, someone actually in the comments said that they feel like I'm more approachable and they're a bit more intimidated by you.
Yeah, I'm not very approachable.
I don't know why
people
though,
who-
because you're super friendly. I guess it depends with
Kind of
whom.
a at first. Like,
Are
I don't,
you?
Yeah, I don't like people being in my bubble.
But I guess I've never seen that side of you.
No.
I've never seen
I
that.
think it's like just a
Protection.
it's just like a yeah, I guess it's like a protection, but it's just like something I emit. Most people are like, oh,
Oh. Yeah.
because even in work too, like some people are like, oh, you have such a strong energy, strong vibe, and some people really like it, and some people are intimidated by it. But it's just the way I guess I like
It's a wall.
portray myself.
Yeah, I guess it's a wall.
Because once you get to know me, I'm like you. I'll take my shirt off my back
Yeah.
for you, But like apart from that, like you have to really get to know me
Mm-hmm.
to get that part of me, because or else I'm just a like don't touch me, don't get near me, don't.
But I mean, that's normal though. You don't want someone who doesn't know you to get to touch you or talk to you.
No, but
like,
I mean,
right.
just even like approach me in person. Like it's really rare that I'll actually open up. Like my eyebrows just stay up all the time. Like but you know how I am, right?
I know
like
that
as soon
eyebrow
as
look.
someone. Like, this is happening right now. Like, I'm trying to put my eyebrows down, but, like, as soon as someone tries to approach me, and I don't know them, I don't know what their intentions are, so right away, I don't emit a very nice vibe, and then if I like your vibe, then I'll let my guard down a little bit, but generally speaking, I'm not very approachable.
I think the moral of the lesson here is if you do ever meet Sika on the street, make sure you let her know where you know her from.
Yeah, because or else I'm just not going to be very
Yeah, so if
very
you're like, hey,
pleasant.
Sika, I watch you on YouTube, then I think
Yeah, it'll
you're-
let my guard down.
Yeah, it'll bring the
But
guard
if
down.
you're like, hey, do I know you? I'm like, no, I don't know you. Who the f- are you? Like, get away from me, you creep.
I used to be so scared when people approached me randomly when they would recognize me on the street because I never expected it to happen.
Yeah.
So I would
and then
have
we just go grocery shopping, and the person behind the counter is like, "Are you Nerdy Crafter?"
Yeah. So then I started to play into it because at first people were like, "Are you Nerdy Crafter?" And I'll be like, "How did you know?"
How
Like,
did you-
how did you know?
Someone did that to me at work. I think I had told
Really?
you that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's someone you knew. They're like, "Oh, are you Jackie's little sister?" I'm like, "How do you?
How do you know? How do you know?
I was like, "How do you?" Like, why are you asking? And, oh, I know her personally. Okay. Like,
Yeah, it was my friend
oh,
actually
so,
from a few years
yeah.
ago. We used to go hiking and
Yeah.
camping together, and man, do I miss hiking and camping.
No, it was so weird. Like I was like, oh, my manager was like, oh, we have a new person today. I was like, oh, okay, cool, I guess. Like, because I don't like being around people. I was like, oh, now I have to be like a certain way for someone new. And then she's like, are you Jackie's little sister? I was like, how do you know? And why are you asking me this? Like, I don't feel comfortable answering. And she's like, oh, I know her personally. I was like, oh, okay, then
Yeah,
it's
it's different that
But
way.
at first, I was like, eyebrows up, like super annoyed. Like, why are you asking me this?
I think the first time it ever happened, I was in class.
Oh yes, I think you told me about
Yeah,
that.
I told
Didn't
you.
they whisper, you know?
Yeah, she came up to me. So it was the first day of school. Student comes up to me and she whispers, "Are you Nerdy Crafter?" And then I looked at her with the dumbest face ever.
It was shock.
And I was like, how do you know? And then she goes, oh my God. And so we both just stared at each other in the dumbest way possible.
Didn't she also go, and as soon as you said yes, didn't she go, that's weird?
I think so, yeah. I think
because that stuck with me. I don't know if it was the same student, but someone you said, like, as soon as you told me, yeah, and you're like, that's weird.
Yeah. And so I ended up being this student's teacher for, you know, for the remainder, well, for the class. And she ended up taking me again as her teacher.
That's funny.
So it was absolutely hilarious and adorable. And then afterwards, randomly when it would happen on the street, I was like, you know, I can't be too dumb about it every single time. I can't just look and stare at them as though, you know, I didn't know I even existed in the first place. So at one point when I was at the dollar store, I know we are completely off topic here, but
we just need to talk about this.
Yeah, these are stories. They just come up. So I was at the dollar store, and then there was this.
Is it the little girl?
No, it was just an adult.
We had that happen before too.
And she would stare at me. Oh, that was in the U.S.
Tree,
that's true, in the Dollar Tree. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
We can talk about that one after. Come on.
Yeah. So at the dollar store here in Quebec, and she just kept looking at me and looking away, looking at me and looking away while she was walking away. And then she just looks at me, and then I initiated first, and I'm like, I am exactly the person you think I am. And she's like, nerdy crafter? I'm like, yes.
That's so cute.
So she came in for a hug, and we chatted for a bit, and then we parted ways. So I was like, you know what? Let me just make it funny, because people already... I've had people take pictures of me in public.
Yeah.
Without asking me. It's like, dude, just ask me.
Yeah.
And we'll get my good angle.
Yeah.
Like, please, if you want to take a picture with me, do me a favor. Let me get my good angle with you. I'm okay with that. 100%. But yeah, the other girl that we met.
It was in the Dollar Tree. We went to the Dollar Tree for snacks, obviously, because of me.
Yeah, in the U.S.
Yeah, and there's just a girl that was staring at us, and then you looked back at her, and she's like...
Yeah, she went, like the little gasp.
Yeah, and you're like, do you recognize me? Like, you said something like that, and she's like, nerdy crafter, and you're like, yeah, and you're like, where's
and she started to tear up, and then I wanted her to not feel bad. I was like, oh, what are you getting? And then she showed us like these snacks.
Yeah,
and she's like, and she just, you could see that she wanted to talk a little bit more. I'm like, do you want to take a picture together? She's like, yeah, but my dad has the phone. Can I go get him? And I was like, yeah, just go get the phone and we'll take a picture together. And that was really cute. She must have been
adorable. Probably like 9.
Yeah, 9 or 10 years old, something like that.
So cute. I was like, oh, what's happening in front of me? Like, what's happening here? Like, and for me, it's weird because I'm like, you're just my sister, and then people are recognizing you, and I'm just like, double chinning, like.
But you see, that's gonna happen to you a lot more often now too.
It happened to me at work a few times, and I was just like, I'm in the elevator trying to get up into like an area that's secure because I had to use a pass to get onto the floor I needed, and then people are like, "Are you Sika?" And I'm like,
that face.
I'm like, why are you asking? And people are recognizing me with a mask on because this is more recently, yeah. So like my mask is super big. Like I purposely get a huge mask that covers like right under my eyes on purpose.
It's your tats.
No, because it was winter when it happened.
Oh.
I was fully dressed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because so far since the mask thing, well, also I haven't been going out much.
You don't leave the house.
I don't leave the house, yeah, especially since December with my back issues.
Yeah.
I've been barely able to leave the driveway.
Pretty much.
So it's been quite difficult. But yeah, we're completely on a whole different tangent here. All that became because of, would you rather be alone or with people?
It really depends.
Yeah. Because I love people.
I don't.
But I love being alone.
I love certain people. I'm very selective.
I like meeting new people.
I don't.
But I'm very nervous about it.
I don't like meeting new people. If I have to, I guess I will, but I don't want to.
Like, I love meeting new people, but I'm always the underdog of any group. People always underestimate me, but that's probably because of the image I have physically. You know what I mean? Like, people don't always look at chubby people the same way they look at someone who's slimmer. They see someone slimmer, like, this person's successful. They see someone chubby, they don't think that
they're capable.
Yeah, that they're capable, or that they think, there's all these stigmas around someone who's chubbier.
And I've seen that, too. I've lost a lot of weight from one job. I went in there weighing a certain amount, and then I lost quite a bit of weight, and I was treated very different from the beginning to the end of it.
People always say when you lose weight, you treated...
get more respect.
Which is
so wrong.
Terrible.
Yeah.
absolutely terrible. Like, that is one of the worst things. And what bothered me the most also during an event, I know we're talking about would you rather, we're so off topic, but don't worry, we're going to get back to that. But there was one event where I was the main speaker for YouTube.
Oh, I remember you telling me that, yeah.
And people were mingling and talking, so I would just approach people and randomly chit-chat, but they had no idea that I was the main speaker. So they would kind of like talk to me while standing sideways.
Yeah, they didn't want to include you.
Yeah, so I just walked away. And then when I was called onto the stage, then those same people were looking at me.
Like, oh my God, she's the main speaker. Oh, and then they all of a sudden saw you in a better light.
Yeah, because then after my talk, they came to talk to me.
See, telepathy would be good right there.
Right? But I already knew, like, I could sense it. Because
Obviously,
I can tell from body language if someone wants to chat.
Of course, yeah.
Or not. And from then on, I was like, okay, well, you don't want to talk to me, fine. But then even after the event, now they wanted to talk to me.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Because I'm like, if you're not going to treat me nice from the beginning, I don't want it.
It's only because of your position that now they wanted to be speaking with you.
Right. So that's one of the things. Okay, let's get back onto topic.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to get back onto the topic.
Okay.
So this one has to do with marrying. Would you rather marry someone who is vain or someone who has a bad reputation? Vain or bad reputation? I think yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I think I'd go with someone with a bad reputation because...
Really?
Yeah, because you don't know...
No, let's say it's confirmed bad reputation. Because the vain person is confirmed vain. Let's say, I don't know, they embezzled something or did something bad at a company and they're notorious for it all over the news. And
depends what it is.
I would rather marry a vain person because just because someone is vain doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad person.
No,
but a bad reputation means a bad person.
Not necessarily.
In what sense?
Depends what they did. You can get a bad reputation for something stupid. Because I can't stand people who are vain. I can't do it.
Like peacocks.
Oh, I just want to punch them in the...
Oh, no.
Like, I can't do it. No. Like, I can't do... Someone who's vain, I'll walk away from because they just, like, the ego is just too heavy. The energy is so heavy.
Does ego and vain automatically go together? Like, if someone...
For me, yes.
Yeah? Because sometimes someone can be vain, but not necessarily have an ego. Because we're not talking about, like, narcissism. Like, obviously, narcissism is a no.
No, I'm not talking about narcissism. I'm just talking about someone who constantly thinks they're good and better.
But then if they choose you, doesn't that make you good and better somehow? Because if they're that vain...
Not necessarily.
I don't know. Now you're making me rethink it. I was like, I'd rather be with someone vain than have someone with a bad reputation.
It depends what the reputation's about.
Well, obviously, I mean, if they stole a candy bar, I don't really care.
Exactly, because they can have a bad reputation for something like, you know, minor theft. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a good thing, but who says that reputation wasn't from when they were a lot younger and they've changed?
And people
as a
can
person.
change, true. But a vain person doesn't change.
Most of the time, they're just like...
Dang it, now you're making me
they
rethink.
They just have like a puffed up chest, you know? Vain people are like, yeah, I'm good, you know? And like, they're just like... It's just the energy that most vain people give out just makes me want to like literally throw a brick at their face.
Yeah, now you're making me rethink it. Because people with bad reputations can change.
And most vain people, I've never seen a vain person change.
No.
They just get more cocky.
Well, unless they get humbled and they age, but then they're going to try and get plastic surgery, which is totally fine if anyone wants to get plastic surgery. But it's that endless pursuit of quote-unquote perfection.
Yeah.
Which is unhealthy mentally.
Yep.
So...
I can't do anyone vain.
Now you're making
me
think.
And then it really depends, right? Like, what's the reputation about?
Yeah.
What's the bad reputation? You know, if like they've killed someone, then
obviously, yeah. I don't think I would not want.
You know, like anything that's violence is a big no. You know. Mm-hmm. But
so let's set the limits. Then.
I've seen bad reputation for like I've seen someone go to jail because they stole a baseball card. Straight up.
Yeah.
That's a bad reputation. It's a baseball card.
Well, even you know, as recently as lately, it's a lot of people are in jail because of pot.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Right? And that's a bad reputation of the time, depending on the context of where you grew up.
Exactly, because now here, pot is legal.
Very legal, yeah.
So people are in jail for something that's now legal.
Is not technically a bad reputation.
It's just our legal system.
So I guess the bad reputation, if it's violence, then that's a no-no. Then you would go with the vain person. If you have no choice, we're talking about here. This is a would you rather game. Okay, I could see you struggling. You're like, no, I'm still gonna go with the bad reputation. No.
Can I marry myself?
No.
Can I not get married?
No. This is the game.
No. Can I marry an animal?
Oh my gosh, that's illegal. See, that's a bad reputation.
No, go for that. It's fine. We don't have to have sex.
Now I feel awkward. So yeah, I
Do
think
this to yourself.
something that's not violent, inherently violent,
I think that's fine.
that's fine.
because it's not necessarily a bad reputation. It's just what society's made them look like.
Yeah, at the time. And if it's vain, because there's still vain doesn't necessarily mean again a bad person. Because I'm thinking in terms of
No, but
I know
hate
you
that
haven't
what
seen
they emit is just too
confidence though.
much. There's confidence and there's being
Cocky.
exactly.
'Cause
Because there's
I'm-
a very fine line between confidence and cocky when someone is vain. Usually, when someone's vain, they're more cocky.
But it depends.
Because
okay.
I can emit confidence, but I'm not cocky.
Yeah, but hang on. Let me put this in context. You haven't watched much Ghibli movies, so that's going to be your homework for this weekend. I definitely want you to watch more Ghibli movies because I think in Howl's Moving Castle, one of the characters emits a lot. He's vain. He's a beautiful guy. Everyone simps over him. But he's not a bad person. I'm trying to think, what anime or TV shows have you watched? Is House vain? Would he be considered vain?
Yes.
Would you marry someone like that?
No.
I don't think I would have that issue.
I would.
It's really
He's
he is, definitely.
I don't like that.
It takes a special person to get to be with someone like that.
Someone like that would piss me off all the time.
Yeah. It really does depend. Like we're playing Would You Rather, but we're having a hard time. We're so hypothetical.
Well,
But if,
you need more information.
yeah. That's the thing, but if I had no information, I would press the vain button. I would choose vain
I don't think I could do
with
it.
no information.
Can I get divorced?
Let's say, yeah, hypothetically you can.
Okay, so I'll marry the vain person, then just divorce him with his
Okay,
money.
you'll take it
Take
from
his
there.
money.
Take his money. Who says he's rich?
Probably.
Oh no. If he's vain,
He's gotta have
rich.
something good about him so I can marry him.
Oh no. Well, he's vain, so we'll have to
I
see.
can't do vain people at all.
Okay, speaking on the topic of marrying, then this is the next Would You Rather. This one's gross though, so let's see. Let's see how this goes. Would you rather have hanky-panky time with your cousin in secret, or not have hanky-panky time with your cousin, but everyone else thinks you did? Right? No, I'm thinking
I'd
like
rather people think I did it than I did.
you'd rather people
Yeah.
think you did
Yeah.
than do it. And we're talking. Let's assume this is first cousin, because
Obviously.
yeah, but it's still gross in either way.
It's still gross, but at least I know I didn't do it.
Yeah, because everyone else, I guess you can isolate yourself. Because I would have chosen that one to like let people think I did, but I actually didn't.
Yeah, because you know what you did or didn't do.
Yeah, but if everyone thinks you did,
It's fine. It's better than doing it. I know someone who's dating their cousin
first cousin.
somewhere near there.
Why is your eye? For those of you who can't see, Sika's eye is twitching so bad right now. Are you okay?
And I think it's personally gross. And then this person literally told everyone that, oh yeah, like we started dating and we didn't know we were cousins. And there's
What would you do in that case, though? Like, you've fallen in love. I've read stories of people falling in love with someone, marrying them, having kids, and then finding out they were. I can't remember the story. Was it cousins or siblings?
that's gross.
It is. But what do you do after all of that? What do you do?
I don't know, but we're not talking about that right now.
No, we're talking about first cousins.
Yes.
So you would rather everyone know than do the deed.
Yes.
Because everywhere you're going to be labeled as having done the deed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you can change that entire environment, but then it might follow you.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm stuck. Like, I definitely would not want to have hanky-panky with my cousin. No. Like, I don't want that.
Good luck.
But then everyone thinking that I've done it is still gross. Just not gross for me.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
gross for... Like, everyone else is going to think you're gross.
Yeah, but then you know whether you did it or not, so you know truthfully that it's not been done. So
Yeah.
I personally feel like I'd feel better about that than actually doing it.
I would follow you into that. I just think it's gross.
Up a little bit.
Yeah, I know, me too. I'm like, it's still gross. Oh, our budgies are going off. So we moved them places because they were quite
loud.
Skeety.
They were skeet. Oh, there they go again.
There they go again. But I think they get the energy of like when we're hyped up, they start skeeting louder and louder. Okay, so we're both on the same page for that. We'd rather other people think we're gross than us. No hanky-panky with the cousin.
I mean, I've had people already, like, you know, put rumors out about me in school and stuff, too, so it's fine. I can deal with another rumor.
Like hanky-panky rumor?
Any kind of rumor. There's been all kinds of rumors about me when I was in high school and stuff, but we can talk about that another time.
Of high school, yeah. We could do a whole other high school.
About rumors.
Yeah. This one is going to be a little bit more, I guess, society interesting because there's a lot of theories, and I think it's okay to hypothesize about this one. Would you rather live in a world where there's no crime or no privacy? So would you rather feel safe or you have a place...
I think it goes hand in hand. Because if there's no crime and you feel safe, privacy isn't as needed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because...
I don't know how to explain that, but do you see where I'm getting at?
Yeah, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, privacy this, privacy that. I don't have anything to hide.
No, but really, example, you know, you're a YouTuber and like, someone has your address.
Right.
You need that privacy.
True.
Because you don't know if someone's going to try and rob you or try and, you know...
But if we lived in a world where there's no crime...
Then it wouldn't be as scary. If you have fans sitting outside, but you know no one's going to hurt you, it's not as scary. It's
still a lack of privacy. Like, there are so many YouTubers that have had people show up at their houses. Yeah. And it's scary.
Of course. But that's because you don't know what their intentions are.
Right. And there's some YouTubers who've actually been murdered.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
In public. There was a YouTuber who was signing books. And I think there was a fan who, again, don't quote me on this, but she hadn't answered his comment and he was upset about it. So he went and shot her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are a little intense.
Yeah, so I think I would rather feel safe.
Yep.
Than my privacy.
Same thing for me.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when I hear about everything going on in the world, it's just so upsetting. And I think that's what makes me the most depressed. So I kind of try to stay naive on a lot of things that are happening. Just because I get so... I'm just talking about it, I'm getting goosebumps. Like, I just get so... Yeah, I feel it all over my face now and my arms. But I just get so involved in it emotionally, in a sense. You know, like... So there's been quite a few things with cops in general, you know, and I get so emotionally involved because, like, this is a person hurting another person. And it's usually not... in the right direction, you know, like the person might have not done anything that's actually wrong, and they just take it way too far.
It's ego that gets in the way, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So that on its own is super upsetting to me, and I just see, like, you know, a human doing this to another human without good reason. You know what I mean? And
it could have been avoided at 100%.
Exactly. You know, especially if the person is telling you that they're not doing well, or, you know, like they're like,
yeah, because you're putting yourself in that position. Like, if someone had slammed me to the ground, like in some situations where I've seen, I would be done.
Yeah.
My physical body cannot take this because I do have issues in my spine.
Yeah.
You throw me once on the ground, you've disabled me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Through something that could have been avoided. So for sure, I think, I don't care about privacy as much as I care about safety.
Exactly. I think
everyone
safety,
can be safe...
Yeah, then you don't necessarily need that privacy anymore because you know you're not going to be hurt in any way. So in my opinion, safety over privacy.
Yeah, 100%. And another thing I want to talk about is in Japan. I feel safe.
Yeah.
I feel extremely safe walking in the street at 2 a.m. as a girl.
All alone.
All alone. Nobody's going to approach me. Nobody's going to bother me.
Yeah.
I feel safe.
We walked out a few times at 2 o'clock in the morning.
We went to the grocery store and just picked up some snacks because we were jet lagged back in Japan.
Yeah, that was funny.
We picked up like fluffy bread and cheese. It was so good.
I'm drooling. I missed Japan.
We also picked up like yakisoba.
Yeah.
And that noodle that was a little fruity. And that was good.
But yeah, no, it's in my opinion, it's 100% safety over privacy. I don't need privacy if I'm going to feel safe.
So here's the other question then. Because I know that some societies, what they do is they have cameras everywhere to ensure safety. Is that okay? Because then you have no privacy.
And you're not guaranteed safety.
But let's say you're guaranteed safety. Is that okay with you? There's a camera in your hallway, a camera in your house, but you're safe.
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't mind any of that?
We have cameras on our phones. Do you think those don't
That's
do
true.
things?
Absolutely, yeah. We have trackers on our phones. We have cameras on our phones.
That doesn't bother me.
Anyone can access them.
That doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me either, to a certain extent. Because, I mean, I've subscribed to it. Not,
Yeah.
subscribed, but I mean, I'm actively
Using a phone.
using a phone knowingly
Yeah.
that this is it. Because you haven't watched this, but here's a recommendation for you to watch with Alex. It's an anime called Psycho-Pass.
Okay.
So it's based in Japan, and it's basically where everything is monitored through AI,
Okay.
and you don't get to and it's very safe. Cops even don't make a decision. The decision is made with their
By the
pistols, and which is programmed with the AI that determines if someone is guilty
Or not.
or not, and it will not shoot lethal until the AI determines so, because it measures stress and intention. It's a really interesting anime. I don't want to give any spoilers.
The only thing is that I don't trust AI in general. Because you don't know if it's flawed or not.
It's supposed to be in the perfect form,
It's
right?
supposed to.
Supposed to.
So it could still make mistakes.
I love AI. But again,
You and my husband are the same person, I swear.
I know, she married me.
I married my sister.
I married my sister. That should be the title of the next video. I married my sister. Yeah, honestly, I think you'll really like it. There aren't that many episodes.
Is
There's
it on
only
Netflix?
2 seasons. It's on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
But you do have my account.
Yeah, I do.
So definitely watch it. It's really good. And it makes you question society. I did show this in my class, and we talked about society and AI and crime and all these different things. Is it good to have that society that is safe?
Yeah, but it's very monitored.
Yeah, they tell
So
you everything.
lose all of your privacy. But
And
then
your
again-
personality, because
Yeah.
the AI also tells you which career to go
Oh
into.
no, I couldn't do that. I don't like being controlled to that extent.
Yeah, but you're safe.
If I'm told, that doesn't matter. At that point, if I can't be who I am, I'm never going to be happy.
And that's where the issue of the anime actually goes
Yeah.
into. So if anyone hasn't watched
Psycho-Pass?
Psycho-Pass,
Okay.
I recommend it. It is pretty good. It's definitely not for young people because it talks a lot about justice and society and all of that. Mm-hmm. So, but I think we both agree that we would rather feel safe than
Safe.
private.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to let's do one last one.
Okay, what is it?
This one is, would you rather live one life that lasts 1,000 years or live 10 lives that last 100 years each?
Do you know your old life for the 10?
That's a good question, but I think not. Like, you get a reset button. I would probably rather live one life at 1,000 years.
Yeah, me too.
You too?
Yeah, because you can create memories of that instead of being reset all the time and restarting all over again, right?
Yeah. But I
you
guess some
still
people
have
like
your
the
knowledge.
fresh...
No, but you still have your knowledge in it. You won't
Yeah.
even know it's a fresh start.
True. Now I'm curious. What if... Okay, let's change it a bit. Because now we're both agreeing on the same one, which makes it too easy. Let's say you had 100... So 10 lives, 100 years each.
Okay.
But you start over, obviously, from babyhood. But you
Okay.
do remember, as soon as you're conscious enough to remember, your past lives. Would you rather start from childhood in that case? Since you did question that.
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you get to restart from an early age with your past knowledge, and you can take different routes to do different things.
So like going to school kind of thing. You would be wise beyond your years. In
Exactly.
elementary school,
Yeah,
imagine you would be an
exactly.
outcast though.
That's fine. I'm already an outcast.
I think I would still take the one life at 1,000 years.
Yeah.
I would rather build on what I have.
The other thing is, are you reborn always in the same area for those 10 years? Or are you constantly moving places? Like,
Let's assume it's different places all the time. Because otherwise you would want to go and revisit the same people again.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
say it's 1,000 span years. And you're just continuing from the decade that you left.
I think I'd still do that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
would? I don't think I would want to start back into babyhood and
You
childhood.
can just change things up again.
But I mean, as an adult, I could just not have to deal with it. Like, do I want to do high school 10 times again?
Well, I mean, after
I
you've
don't
done
know.
it 3 times, you should be smart enough to be okay with it and just go through with it.
But it's the people, right? It's like the environment, the toxicity of some students.
But then you're doing it for 1,000 years, so every 100 years, there's still new things coming out. And for all we know, every 100 years, you're not in class anymore. Maybe it's going to be always online now all of a sudden.
But do I want to deal with that?
I don't know. Do you?
No. Do you?
I don't mind.
So for me, the way I think about it is I would rather be that same person for a span of 1,000 years and improve on what I have where I left off, as opposed to start over from childhood.
So what if someone hates you? Or a lot of people hate you. Let's say you have a bad reputation. 1,000 years of bad reputation, or do you want to restart after your 100 is done? You're restarting again. That reputation's gone.
But you can leave, right? Like if I
Where?
decide to leave and go to a different place in the
Bad
world.
reputation, let's say.
Okay, let's say worldwide
Yeah.
bad reputation. Well, in that case, would you rather be alone for 5 years and let people forget about me? Huh? That's a good Like that's an interesting way to look
twisting
about it.
your mind.
Yeah, because I still feel like I want to be the same person, but
But you
getting
can just
better.
be the same person in a different body, in a different area.
But I just don't want to just start over. Like, don't get me wrong, I had a great childhood to a certain extent. But I don't know if I want to go back as a kid, be dependent again, and do that whole high school thing. I just want to improve on what I have and what I love within that span. I don't want to be a kid again. Why are you looking at me like that?
It's just funny.
Because you see me struggling.
Yeah.
But now I want to hear your perception on this.
I think I would want to still do 100 years 10 times.
Yeah.
Because if you're with the same knowledge and you're just changing areas and you can kind of you're restarting 10 times instead of being that one person for 1,000 years. And you still have that same knowledge, the same ideas, the same everything. You just get to restart it.
I don't think I want
So
that.
it's still 1,000 years, just done differently. I personally think it's cooler like that.
Because I'm going with the assumption that technically by the age of 1,000, or let's say the age of 700, that means our bodies are healthy, right?
I don't know.
I would hope so. Like, I wouldn't want to be
You're
like...
still gonna age.
Yeah, I know. That's totally fine. I'm okay with aging. I just don't want to be broken even more than I am.
Like, let's say by the time you're 700, it's like you're 70.
Yeah. I think it's fine. For me. Like, stop that. You're judging me. I can see that.
It's just funny.
I think I would still want to continue as an adult, improving on the things I do and getting better from there. I don't want to... You're looking at me, but I don't want to start over. I don't want to be a baby
fine.
again.
That's fine. We have different opinions.
What if someone drops me, or you get a bad hand of, negligent parents, and I don't know. I don't think I want to leave my life, or at least a good part of my life at the beginning, knowingly that I had a previous opportunity to be 1,000 years old continuously in someone else's hand. Because in that case, you're living less lives, less years. Do you know what I mean? Because the first 15 years, let's say 18 years,
you're growing,
of every part of your lifetime is spent dependent.
But if we're talking about 1,000 years being
continuous,
as let's say 100 years, and when you're 700, you're 70, then you're still going to be 150 years at 15 years. Do you see what I mean? You're still, if we're doing it like that.
Not really, because you're 1,000 years old. So let's say now we're getting into math. So the first 15 years, 18 years of your life, you live it normally.
No.
Why?
Because we're doing it as if it was the same, how
no,
dog years...
No, that wouldn't make any sense, because if we're living it in normal human years and you're a cyborg, okay? Let's go with the cyborg idea. You're aging.
You see what I'm doing,
Yeah,
right?
I see what you're doing.
Years.
Yeah, no, I'm not translating it that way. I'm just saying in a normal human life, every 100 years that you're going to start over is going to be dependent in the first 18 years of it. So you've missed that 18 years in every single life cycle as a dependent.
I'm making it as dog years.
No, I'm not doing it as dog years at all.
You'd be 150 years old, but you'd still be like 15.
No, not that. We're not doing that. We're doing actual years.
Okay.
Does that change your mind? See, that's where it doesn't change your mind. You would still rather.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I would rather not.
Because for 15 years, you don't have very much responsibility, so you can kind of take advantage of it. Let's say you've done 500 years, where you've done, 5 lifetimes of 100 years. You've got 15 years where you can just take advantage of all that knowledge you already have and not have too much responsibility. I don't know if you see what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but then I'm thinking, like, if you were... I thought this would be, like, the easier one to kind of go through, but no, because if I were to live a continuous 1,000 years, I could make the money I need, live off of the interest, and not have to worry about redoing everything to a certain extent.
Okay, so you're basing yourself on money and comfort. I'm talking about experience.
Well, I mean, you get to experience everything you want by that time.
I like restarting things. Clean cut.
Clean cut for you? Yeah, for me, I'd rather continue. Because I'm thinking, I don't want to start over. Let's say I learned to, crochet. I don't want to have to start over to figure out how to hold the things again.
But you just said you have the same knowledge as you
did.
You
do, but not necessarily dexterity, because body and mind are not necessarily in sync with each other. Yeah, but if you know
how to do it...
It's just a matter of time.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. Why waste it?
I mean, à peine là, you're being ridiculous.
I think that's what it is for... Yeah, but then I'm calculating those 18 years at the beginning all the time, too, for me.
It's 18 years of not having too much to think about, and then you just have all that experience you already had from before.
Yeah, so I think we're just going back in circles at the end of the time. Like, we both disagree. And so I feel that we are definitely different in that part.
Probably.
You can come and find me, though. I'll be the same person.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll remember you.
You'll remember me. You can come and find me as the 700-year-old, and you'll probably be at
my 7th life.
Yeah, 7th life, 15-year-old.
Yeah,
we'll be BFFs still. In that case. Now we're actually very curious to know what are your situations and what would you rather in each of our
little discussions.
Yeah, little discussions, because we're similar in many things, but very different in other ones.
Yeah.
Some of them were gross, so we'd like to know, would you, especially the cousin one, would you rather everyone think you're gross or you feel gross? Like, which one? Which one would you rather? And with that said, I'm Jackie.
And I'm Sika.
Thank you for joining us for Coffee and Conversation, and we will see you in the next one.